The Trevor Jackson Podcast.
Man, for real, I love being from this dirty South, man. And maybe the G I am today, maybe the hustler I am today, the grinder, the baller, the gangster I am today, man. A lot of people got opinions and issues and problems with what they see coming from the South. I'm telling you like this. Fuck you, dog. It's the South, nigga. We gonna be here. We been here and ain't going no motherfucking where. Take it how you like it, hate it or love it, ho. It's that candy paint, 80 bows, built in buckles, chromic grill, leather seat, stitch and tuck, TV screens and wooded wheels, suede roof, neon lights, bold tires, swinging bang, tops drop, blades chop. Fifth wheel just hanging, man. White tees, fitted hats, Jordans under Dickies. The Swisher sweet, cigarillos filled up with the stickies. The 15th, Batman in the bass, kicking, Cadillac.
Hey, I had to start that song off for the podcast, man. When they was doing the verses, man, this song about, it had me emotional because I was thinking about like the things that them boys had to go through just to get noticed. Like, we don't know too many artists in the game that went gold and platinum without no videos. But Ballin' G, UGK, that's them boys, man. Right now, these boys ain't selling 10,000 copies with 10 videos out. But those guys was going platinum with live instrumentation, just dope music, man. I just had to start the pod off. You know how we do on the Trevor Jackson Podcast, man. We create the vibes, man. That's what we do over here. Chill. Let's get into another record, man. This another one that had me gone.
In a world that don't give a damn. Can I trust? I'm doing the best I can.
It's almost summer, man. If you wasn't riding Candy and listening to this when it came out about 20 years ago, you wasn't doing nothing, man.
As the sun sets, I take off my specs, sit down and collect my thoughts of another day in the past. How it don't last like it used to last. It's commonplace to get your ass
the real South,
from a
man.
gun blast. Not trying to preach, just trying to reach out and feel me. I chose the righteous path and now people are out to kill me. Killing myself, advertising suicide, explaining formulas for black on black genocide. In other words, I apologize. Not for telling the truth, but about the lifestyle I glorify. Not ever lying, I have heard and seen much shit, but through it all, man, I've always been a lyricist. From high school to a hole in the wall shooting pool, on top of the world, and a nigga still paying dues, singing the blues, cause Saturday morning mom bumped it. Love and happiness, Al Green and the trumpets, rolled up in my brain with that hay and hen, using God-given talent, slanging wealth and sin, lost in the clouds, drowning in that 80 proof.
There was one person missing though, man, but his spirit was felt like no other, man. The Pimp, man. Like, I grew up on this music, man. These was the first artists that I really knew of in my life. UGK, 8 Ball, MJG. But if you know me personally and you know throughout my music career, I got records with each art, like one artist from both of these groups. I got a record with Bun B, and I got a record with 8 Ball. And I want to talk about ownership throughout this podcast too, because like, I seen the record I did with 8 Ball, streams went crazy. Like, you could pay a mortgage payment with the amount of streams that record got that one day just because of the versus battle or whatever. And ownership is key, man, because I did that record with that boy 15 years ago, and it did numbers just because of the verses or whatever. But let's keep creating the vibes, man. We ain't just talking about the verses on this podcast, too. We got more to go.
Can't let nobody hold me down. These hoes could never hold me. Cause I'm coming down, playing surround and living these hoes' fantasy. Cause I'm chopping blazing, playing maze, and these bitches, they can't stand it. Deep up in this game, and this thing is so demanding.
Who y'all know made the beat, sung the hook, and rapped the verses besides Pimp? Or before Pimp? He was the first.
Young bitch, hold up, young bitch. Bitch, I just don't wanna stop. It's never too much. The paper I make, other pussy niggas ain't real, them hoes fake. I'm Sweet James Jones. When you come through, bitch, I treat you good because you know I'm rich. I was in the ghetto, had nothing, sold a lot of records and grabbed some. Now I'm going to do movies in LA, playing the game the way the hustlers play. And every day I try to stack my grip and make 3 songs. I'm trying to get my motherfucking paper on. I want the new bro and a new cell.
Hey, man, let's intro the pod. Let's get on into it, man. Let's do it. It's the Trevor Jackson Podcast, dog. Chill.
The Trevor Jackson Podcast.
Hey, if you're listening to the audio version, man, come on over to YouTube and check out Trevor Jackson T.V. So you can see the visuals, man, and interact with me in the comment section. If you enjoy the show, like, come on, man, talk to me in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel and share the show. That's what's most important, sharing the show so your friends and your people can see, you know what I mean, the content that you're interested in. And, man, my neighbor here outside, you know what I'm saying, feeding his grass or whatever. I'm player hating. I see you over there putting all the good stuff in your grass. We having a grass competition over here, like, you know what I'm saying, who got the best grass? I'm kind of player hating because he looking a little greener than me over there, though. I got to do the pod, though. When I get out the pod, we're going to be beefing now. I got to get my stuff up the pod, though. But something that I experienced since the last time I did a pod, like, gratitude, man. Life is short. Gratitude and happy Memorial's Day, man. Thanks to all the veterans. Thanks to all the soldiers that, you know what I mean, go to war for us, that protect us over here in this country so we can live the lives we live. We don't got no reason to complain over here in America when we got soldiers and youthful individuals. Most of those people, they go to the military at 18, 19, 20 years old. And because they don't see a future at that age for their life. So they build their life up and they get free health insurance and life insurance and they better their lives. They get education and, you know what I mean, have a future. And I appreciate y'all, man. I can't tell you how much I appreciate y'all. But one thing that I experienced as of recently is gratitude, being thankful, being appreciative. No matter what stage you is in life. Like if you want to move forward, you got to be appreciative and thankful because life could end today. So if you're a person that's listening to this podcast or looking at the visual and you having a rough day, think about who having it rougher. For real, man. There's somebody out there that has a rougher situation than you, and you have a choice to be happy or not to be happy. And the mass shootings, man, we're going to talk about that because I got an important call from someone that I love and I appreciate a lot. And y'all know me, I don't have any children. My wife don't have any children. So it was kind of hard for me to like express my thoughts about the situation that has went on in Buffalo and the situation that has went on in Texas. But it's all political to me too. It got political ties to it too. So it was kind of eye opening for me to get that phone call from a family member, a loved one, about the situation because he has kids, and by him having kids, he has a totally different perspective about the situation that's going on in those places that is close to home. Actually, they are real close to home, man. They real close to Tennessee and the Carolinas, man. So we're gonna talk about that, and then you know, I released the album. That's the last thing on the channel right now. I released the album Abstract, and the album did more than I expected to do. I didn't know that I was gonna have that many pre-sales. I didn't know that the streams was gonna go crazy. I don't know if I got into the algorithm of something with this album, but the streams, it did like 70,000 in the first day. and I had like 62 pre-order sales. And I never had a pre-order sale before that when I released the project. And I was very appreciative of that. And people showed appreciation for the album. And I'm gonna pull up some of the words that people had to say. And I'm thankful for y'all, you know what I mean, just tapping in and telling me your perspective of the album. Hey, thank you to everybody that left the messages. Thank y'all for all the positive remarks and telling me that this is positive music. This is something that you can listen to. Then one of my partners said, "So you die to come back." He said, "That's interesting now. That's deep now." But that's life, man. Like, I believe in things that I wouldn't want to get into on this podcast to further the discussion on the podcast. But one day I might do a show on some of my beliefs, because I don't want to make it like other people's beliefs and thought processes. But some other things that I was interested in, like as of recently, I went to an art museum here downtown Charlotte also. Like, it was eye-opening. It was different. It was an African American cultural art place. It's called the Harvey B. Gantt Center. And it was different, man. I got into, like, lately, I don't know what's going on with me or whatever, but I've been in my feelings and a little bit emotional lately. Like, life has been on a high and some lows. Like, it's been on a roller coaster, because it's like so much stuff is happening so fast. Like, people are dying, people are going to jail. The my hustle and bustle is changing how I gotta get to the money or whatever. Then it's reports and stuff coming out that it's like the promotion of fear is crazy right now. But it was a report coming out that said the average rent and mortgage in the United States will be $2,000 a month by the end of this year. And when that came out, I was like, well, why the wages aren't going up? Like, why isn't minimum wage going up, or the wages in general going up? So that means crime is going to get higher, because people ain't going to know how to survive, man. They're going to have to get multiple jobs and stuff just to be able to have a place to stay, or just to be able to maintain and eat. Food going up, gas going up. Gas is projected to be $6 a gallon by this summer. And in some places it's already $6 a gallon. That's on the average. So things is crazy right now, man, for real. And that Harvey B. Gantt Center, it was very intriguing for me. And thank y'all again for showing love to the album. That was very appreciative. But we're gonna talk about the verses too. The verses was, I hope my internet, like, if I'm blurry on this, I think something up with my internet. If y'all see me blurry, but I look clear to me, like super 4K. But I gotta get something done on my internet so it can be strong the whole time I'm recording. Because sometimes I might look blurry, sometimes I might be super clear, or it might be the the streaming service that I'm using also. It might be taking up a lot of data or whatever. I don't know, but I'm on the Mac and it's supposed to be dumb crispy right now because it's crispy on my end. But we're going to talk about the mass shootings a little bit and the conversation that I had with family. So before we get into the verses, because I'm very intrigued about the verses. But the mass shootings, right? When that stuff was happening, like, it's children. The first one in Buffalo, people was thinking that it was a race situation, but it's children involved. And it's a cycle that's going on. Like, Congress ain't gonna do nothing about it. It's easier to get a gun than it is to get a driver's license. You 18 years old, you can go to a gun shop or a gun store and just say, I want this strap. And you're gonna get the strap. You're gonna get that strap with no problems. You don't have to have no ID, no nothing. You have the money, they just gonna hand it to you. That's simple. And I don't think that's right. I think Congress need to, my perspective on gun laws and stuff is that they need to change some things, man. Real talk. Like, why is it so easy to get an assault rifle? What you using it for? And why is it always the same straps? The AR-15, when the Columbine, the situation that happened in the movie theater. The AR-15 is the gun that's most used. I feel as if, like, you shouldn't be able to legally own an assault rifle. You should have a hand boy. It should be illegal. Anything over a hand boy should be illegal. You shouldn't have nothing that can knock bears and deers and cows down. That's crazy. But I'm gonna show y'all something. It was a meme that was all over Instagram and Twitter as of recently about mass shootings and the cycle of mass shootings. Check it out now. Thoughts and prayers, Facebook posts, everyone forgets. And I forgot the other two. But if you listen to the audio version, come on over, man. Y'all needed to see that meme if y'all haven't seen it already. And like, on the real though, man, like, in America, if people don't know this, like, it's a capitalistic country. Money is more important to the government and to people than a human being's life. I hate to say that. I hate to say that so much because I say it a lot on podcasts, but it's true though. Like, you don't mean you are nothing but a commodity to be sold to. You just an extra body that we can sell something to. Everybody ain't like that though, but a lot of people are, and a lot of people are trying to benefit off the human experience. So when you know that, you got to use the capitalistic situation to your advantage. If you're not using it to your advantage, you're being capitalized off of. Real talk. Just that simple. And man, to parents, don't have no kids, I'm gonna say that again, but to parents, like, COVID exposed us to working from home. Now everybody want to work from home. I know, like, parents want their kids to have the experience they had, but their experience is different because we live in a different world right now. We live in a totally different world. And by us living in a different world, you gotta, like, protect your kid differently. I want my kid to be a wuss if I ever have one. He's gonna be homeschooled. Everything gonna be laid out for him the right way. They're gonna get their car immediately licensed and stuff when they're 14. Everything early on in life, so they don't have to deal with the struggles that I had to deal with growing up in the hood. They ain't gonna have to grow up in the hood. They ain't gonna know what the hood smell like. For real. And I I would want my kid to be homeschooled right now because, like, when we was going to school, they used to have us doing fire drills. Y'all remember that? Like fire drills. Now they have the kids doing gun drills, expecting a shooting to happen. Like, what we gonna do if a shooting happen? You know, affirmations, we speak and treat things and put things in existence, man. And whew, that's real. That's crazy, man. And I love y'all, man. I just want y'all to be safe, protect y'all kids, protect your mind, elevate your mind, and man, prayers up for those families that lost their loved ones, man. For 21 seconds, let's have a moment of silence for all the people that lost their life. Chill. Yeah, so man, like this one of my records, man. 100 racks.
Used to think dope boys was the superheroes until my Neros told me about the bureau. Then I started moving straight as an arrow. This no impression, nigga. J Pharaoh. Where the street niggas at with 100 racks? Where the street niggas at with 100 racks? You celebrating life with 100 racks? You never looking back with 100 racks? Where the street niggas at with 100 racks? Where the street niggas at with 100 racks? You celebrating life with 100 racks? You never looking
Hey, in the description of this podcast, I'm gonna put the link to the album from Apple Music in the description. So check it out, man. It's the real deal, man. It's high quality music, and I appreciate y'all for supporting it the way y'all did. I didn't think it was gonna do the numbers it did, and it did, and I'm appreciative of it. But I gotta talk to the street dudes too, man. It's things that needed to be said, talked about codes and morals and how valuable is codes in the street. What does it actually mean being a real nigga? What does it actually mean? Because does it have weight in the real world, or does it only matter to the people that's in your community? How far are you gonna get being a real nigga? How far are you gonna get in life abiding by the street codes? Because a real man that abides by the law and pays taxes has a totally different perspective, even if he come from the street. See, me, I have lived multiple lives and have attempted multiple things to be successful and to just continue on in life and strive and move forward. And I was listening to an individual and I was judging him, and my perspective was wrong about him because I can be aware when I'm wrong. I can acknowledge it. Like, my thoughts on the guy Charleston White was wrong. I thought he was talking crazy because on one show he was saying that he happy that Young Thug got locked up. Now me, I'm not that blatant with my verbiage when it comes to crime and criminals and people. I don't want to see nobody hindered or nobody hurt or nobody die. I don't like jail. I think it should be a different alternative than jail. It should be some sort of healing, or you know what I mean, moving forward. Some sort of different discipline than locking a person up and taking them away from their family and their loved ones and all of that, and their children, especially if Young Thug got multiple children. I don't think that, but Charleston White perspective is like, you do the crime, you do the time. You tough. You know what the consequences is. Like, I don't understand people in the streets. One thing when I was active in the streets that kept me sane was I knew the consequences. I was nervous every day. I was petrified. I was paranoid because I knew certain situations could give me a life sentence, and I didn't do that. I knew if I did this, I could get 20 to 25 years. I knew the consequences of everything I was doing. But nowadays, I think people don't even acknowledge the consequences. Ain't even acknowledging it. They just doing what they doing, and they happy they doing what they doing. And they just trying to benefit and be better than the next man. But me, listening to Charleston White, he had something very profound that he said, and I think that everybody should take heed to it. And if you still in the streets, if you're a street dude, if you just active in that lifestyle, you need to hear this, man, for real.
When you know better, you do better, man. Now, homie, whatever I got to be to stay here in these kids' life, I'm willing to be it. Whatever hoops or rings of fire that I got to jump through, nigga. I don't commit crime, so why I need to go to jail for a nigga that's doing it? I pay my taxes, nigga. I go home why I got to go to jail, nigga? I work in the community. So you telling me as black men, when I grow up and I grow and I develop a man's mind, I'm still beholden to street codes and laws? When I'm with my family, I'm supposed to crash out to be real? Nah, homie, I don't want to be real no more. I know niggas done suffer long and hard being real, nigga, and they ain't got no relief yet. Nah, I don't want to be real, homie, so I broke away early. Yeah, I want to be the working man that'll call the police on your ass, nigga. You violate my neighborhood. You breaking law, nigga, go to jail. You bad, I ain't. You tough, nigga. So go be tough, nigga. But get away from us law-abiding citizens, nigga. Get away from your mama and them. Stop taking guns over there, nigga. Stop bringing dope to where you know they'll kick in and rob, nigga. No, nigga, you showing all that money, you know you live with your mama. Nah, homie, I know niggas who lost it all because of that, nigga. And the whole time they was tied up, them niggas was hollering about where that shit you were rapping about, nigga. And he got to look at his mama and his daughter. Where that shit is you were rapping about, nigga. We know it's here. We seen it. So now, my nigga, I want to come, nigga, assassinate the character that's been assassinating us.
That nigga said assassinate the character that has been assassinating us. What'd I say? Assassinate the character that has been assassinating us. That's what he said. So, you showing all that money on the ground, but you live with your mama. If you worth 100 racks, why you live with your mama? Because you're doing crimes to get that money. So, you bringing the criminal aspect to your mama house. You bringing the criminal aspect to your mama house. He said you tough, nigga. You know you're tough. You do the crime, you do the time. You tough, right? I agree with that, man. Like street codes and being real doesn't even exist in the real world. We got to be real men. Stand up men. Honest. True with the things we say. I know the youth is not understanding and they don't want to listen to the older people because we ain't cool no more. We don't understand the lingo that they talking about, but it ain't all about that no more. It's about coming together, man, and being better. That's what it's about. To me, anyway. Real talk, man. It's about coming together and being better. But we got to move forward with the podcast and we got to move forward with the discussion. And I just want to, I told you I went to the Harvey B. Gantt Center this previous week. And before I get into the conversation about the Harvey B. Gantt Center, it's about African American arts and cultures. Before I talk about it, I'm going to play the visual that I created about my experience. And the visual, it has majority of the art pieces that's in the museum. But I'm going to talk about something after I show the art pieces. I hope y'all enjoyed that, man, because I took a lot of time creating that piece so people could see the art and the Harvey B. Gantt Center. I wanted to highlight the Harvey B. Gantt Center because the Harvey B. Gantt Center is a place to where you can be creative and you can appreciate it. But I was bothered by nobody was there. Nobody was in the building, and by nobody being in the building but me, I was kind of distraught because the art and the creativity in that place was flawless. Like some of those pieces was 20, 30 grand. And whatever Jewel, I followed her on Instagram when I seen her promotion on one of those arts. She is great. And I plan on buying a piece from her, no matter what it costs, because money is just nothing. Money is nothing. But when you go into an art museum, you have to have a objective mind. You can't have a subjective way of thinking. You can't be one-sided. It opens up your chakras to where you're free, where your mind is free of judgment. I don't like that piece. If you a judgmental person, you will not appreciate art, because appreciating art is like appreciating a person, especially abstract art. Abstract art is like free. That's why I title my album Abstract, man, because it's free. It's free flowing. If you judgmental, then you will not like it. Whoa, there was popping. What's good, my brother? What's good, fam? Let me put you on the Let me put you on the pod. What's good, fam? What's good?
What up, Snake the Great, man? Just wanted to call in, talk about that verses real quick.
Man, that verses was dope, man. I just got to talking about art as a whole. Like, I named the podcast Beyond the Art, man, but I want to hear my boy Woody perspective on that verses, man. That verses battle. I can get into the conversation now.
Man, that verses was epic, bro. UGK versus A-Ball and MJG. I mean, Bun held the jump down, bro, without Pimp. You know what I mean? He did the best he could without Pimp.
That's a fact.
Lay it down. I ain't, you know what I mean? That was huge for me. You know what I mean? I really enjoyed that jump.
That's our era. That's our era, my brother. That's our era. Like, I appreciated the hell out of it. Like seeing Jazzy Faye and Tila come up on the stage. I appreciated that.
Right.
Pimp C daughter came up on the stage at the end of the show. I appreciated that.
Me too. That about scared Bun. He didn't know who the hell that was.
You know, without the way the climate is of the culture, with Will Smith slapping Chris Rock and then Dave Chappelle getting tackled on stage. You know what I mean? You don't know what's gonna happen nowadays, man.
Nah, you don't, man.
Yeah.
Can you hear me good? I'm moving around. I'm downtown and shit. It's a little hectic, man. I'm downtown Nashville. It's a little hectic.
What's going on down? What you into down there, fam? I'm in the Cashville in the 615.
Man, about to go eat real quick at a Mexican spot. But yeah, man. Only thing I wish Pimp C could have been there, but you know, we know that ain't possible. But
yeah.
That's the only thing that would have made it better, but it was them. I'm gonna say that.
Yeah, your phone crispy too, fam. For you to be moving around, boy. I don't know what type of phone you got, but that thing sound clean, boy.
Yeah, I'm on the iPhone, but MJG is a fucking performer, bro.
Talk to me about MJG, fam. Talk to me, bro.
Man, MJG is underrated. I think MJG is the best lyricist bar for bar from Tennessee ever.
Yeah,
in my opinion. You know what I mean? But he get overlooked by a lot of people.
Yeah,
in
that's
that
true.
Conversation though.
That's true. One thing I was talking about on the pod at the beginning of the pod, fam, is that we can't take back, like, these artists, 8Ball, MJG, and UGK, they was going gold and platinum without videos.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You know, but like when Pocket Full of Stones and shit like that was out,
yeah,
as long as it was a hot song, the hood was gonna promote. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
Mr. Big video.
Mr. Big didn't have video, fam.
Right.
Yeah.
Lay it down. Space Age Pimpin' had a video though, but
yeah,
that was like, if I'm not mistaken, shit, that might have been the first video I remember.
And that was 3 albums in, and those first albums went gold and platinum already.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's true, fam. That's true, man. Hey, but I appreciate you calling in, man. I know you busy, fam. Do you got anything else you want to talk about or you want to promote or anything, fam?
Man, just shit, watch that Versus if y'all ain't watched it yet. And you know what I mean? Feel free to follow me on Instagram at official T-Reezy. TEEREEZY. Yes, sir. I'm
gonna put a link in the description so they can follow you, my brother. Real talk.
That's what's up, man. My bad, man. I ain't, went too comfortable. Shoot, talking. I'm moving around though, man. But I did want to chime in though.
Hey, nah, you cool, fam. You my boy, man. That's Reason Woody, man. We the new age baller G out of Tennessee. If people don't know.
Yes, sir. You're right. And one more thing, man. I think my cousin Floyd was talking about this. I think Bun and MJG should do an album together, bro. I think this shit'll be hot.
Bun and G. That'll be hot.
Yep.
Cause they was the lyricists out of the two, and Ball and Pimp was the characters of the other two.
Right.
Yeah, that's
absolutely. Yes, sir.
That's facts. Hey, but be safe in them streets, man. You downtown, man. Be safe in them streets, fam. I love you, my brother.
All right, Trey. Love you too, fam.
All right, fam. Yeah. Hey, that was my player partner T-Reezy calling. He didn't know he was calling in. I was doing a podcast, to be honest, though. But man, if anybody know about Ball and G, if anybody know about UGK, it's T-Reezy. T-Reezy was the dude who told he made me realize that Pimp C was the GOAT. Pimp C is the GOAT. If you from the South and Pimp C ain't your GOAT, then I don't know what to say. Real talk. But since he called in, I'm a talk about something that Ball had to say during the verses. Ball said something real profound during the verses because I know I do podcasts. I just did the Mount Podmore and I gave $1 million worth of game. My expert opinion, the Joe Budden podcast, and Drink Champs. That was on my Mount Podmore. And one of these people told a story from the Mount Podmore. One of these people told a story about 8 Ball and MJG and their experience being signed to Suave House and what they experienced at Suave House. And Ball during the verses cleared it up and correct these niggas. And it was interesting though. Let me play it.
Ain't no
Listen.
Ran from him. What you run for? I don't know what the fuck I was running for. We go. I get signed to Suave House, right? So later on, we going out, Gilly. We going parking lot pimping. I'm thinking this is a fucking club, man. All day, I'm like, yeah, we going parking lot pimping later on. Yeah, I mean, this is 99. I never heard of no fucking parking lot pimping. Bro, we pull up. They get out the cars, and we chilling in the parking lot. And I'm like,
pimping hard.
I'm like,
what's the name of the club?
So Jamaica? I couldn't remember back to
what. You remember what day it was? I can tell you the club.
It was I think it was the weekend. So we sitting there, and
was you with 8 Ball?
All the bitches, yeah, we 8 Ball. All the bitches is out, and I put it together. Oh, parking, they cool. And the next thing I know, motherfucker said, "There go Jay Prince. Get in the car, Gilly." I'm like, who the fuck is Jay Prince? Like, I get in the car. The nigga I'm in the car with is driving like this. So I'm like, oh man. So now I'm up under the dash.
You ain't seen nobody?
Man, I don't know who the fuck Jay Prince is, man. I ain't did nothing to nobody. I'm not big with nobody.
Who said there go Jay Prince?
8 Ball. I ain't got no pistol.
8 Ball from MJG.
No. 8 Ball didn't say it. Somebody else screamed out, yo, they gonna rap a lot, nigga. They gonna Jay Prince. 8 Ball said, get in the car, Gilly, because that's what I was with.
8 Ball.
So when we pull the fuck off and we get out of there, I get right back to the motherfucking studio and Drake, I ain't never going to the motherfucking club again with niggas, man.
Man, them niggas know I tell a story, boy. I tell you, boy. 8 Ball corrected that shit, though. 8 Ball had a response during the verses.
And another thing,
H-time, baby.
While the world is listening, Gilly the Kid told a story about us running from Lil J one night on the parking lot. Gilly the Kid, you remembered that wrong. You have never been in the car with me. My first gun charge was in Houston. You can look that shit up.
Yeah.
And Lil J, we have nothing but respect for that man.
Nothing
and he ain't
but
got
respect.
nothing but respect for us.
Hey,
we have
man.
never had to run from Lil J, man.
Never.
You hear me, man? So get your story right and go back online and say who you was really with that night.
Real talk, man. I don't think that would have been a problem because Tony Draper and Jay Prince, they was cool. And Suave House was based out of Houston. And Ball and G, them some cool individuals, man. And I ain't, man. Like, Gilly the Kid, he was part of Suave House, though. That's what people don't realize. Gilly the Kid been around. He's like a real deal legend, though. If you don't understand Gilly, if you from the South and you don't understand Gilly the Kid or Philly and you don't understand Gilly, he a real legend. He was signed to Suave. He was signed to Cash Money. Then he went back to Philly and did his own thing. But 8Ball MJG ain't no punks, man. They from Memphis, man. Them some Memphis boys, man. They came out in 92. Mr. Big. They call me Mr. Big. But I think that was intriguing about the verses, hearing about the beef and all of that, but it ain't gonna hold no weight. That ain't 8Ball MJG ain't about no beef. They about that money or whatever. So Gilly might address it in his new podcast coming up. You know, he do a podcast once a week. He may address it, but it ain't gonna be no problems or no smoke or nothing because them niggas 45, 50 years old. It ain't gonna be no smoke, man. Real talk. But before my boy T Reezy called in, I was talking about the arts and Beyond the Art and the Harvey B. Gantt Center. And when I was talking about that, I mentioned that because we got to support each other as black folks, man. For real, though. We got to support each other because who gonna support us beside us? And that experience, it was chilling because the Harvey B. Gantt Center it's a black art museum in the middle of downtown Charlotte. I ain't saying Charlotte is the best city or the biggest city just because I'm located here, but it's a city where you gotta have some bread. It's a city, a mega city. It's a metropolitan city, and you have an art center dead smack in between the Panther Stadium, the second biggest Wells Fargo bank in the United States, and the Hornet Stadium. And you have a black-owned, black art culture appreciation center there. And on Friday afternoon, I'm the only person there. And the entrance fee is only $10. I feel disrespected. I feel like we don't appreciate each other, man. And I'm kind of tired of it. Real talk. But I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. I appreciate y'all subscribing to the channel and showing love. But I'm out, man. I see y'all soon. Peace, love, plenty of abundance. Make sure you go get you some money. Chill.
The Trevor Jackson